Hello guys, in this video you're gonna learn everything that you need to know about qualifiers and magic mask. Okay, this is the part 2 of our masking masterclass. So let's start with qualifiers. By going to the color page, you'll see this eyedrop right here. So you can click it and you're gonna be in the qualifier page. Before we start actually explaining everything, a long time ago when I was starting color grading, when I was watching the videos, I thought that they were not actually giving me real life usage. So I'm just gonna tell you guys a few things that I think that you can use the qualifiers for. So overall, qualifier is a tool to do a selection on your image, okay? Yes. So you could do that selection by multiple things. The first one, the standard one, is the HSL. There you have the H stands for hue, S stands for saturation, and L stands for luminance. And then you have the RGB type of qualifier that you're doing your selections by the red, green, and blue value. You have the luminance qualifier that it's literally just the luminance selection, and we'll talk about a little bit more of that. And you have the 3D key. The 3D key have a specific usage. For example, when I was teaching you guys the sky replacement method, I do have a video on sky replacement. You can check it out on my channel. Let's just stick to the standard for now, and which is the HSL qualifier. So you already know that the qualifier is a type of tool to do selections by the hue, saturation, and luminance. And okay, so how can we do that? So as soon as you enter the qualifier tab, you will be having these eye drop thing. If you're not having, you can click right here and click on the qualifier, and then you'll have this little guy right here. So if you click in the image, it's going to make a selection. If you're not seeing it, you can click here. This is the highlight mode. You can click here or press Shift H. Okay? So what's the program is telling us? Hey, your selection so far, it's everything but these gray areas. Okay? So now our job is to finesse that. Okay? In order to finesse that, there's a few methods. You can come here to this eyedrop fill with the minus sign, and you can click on an area that you don't want it to include. Okay? You can also do these right here. These are tools that will increase a softness for you. So instead of doing a harsh selection, for example, in here you can see that this is a sort of a harsh selection. There's no softness. So if we apply a change here, it's going to be noticeable. So if you use this, you'll decrease the softness. So for example, let's decrease the softness. You see these ranges right here are the softness. You can increase in here or decrease it like this. This is a good thing, but I'd rather do everything in here. So let's talk about that. Okay, these are your hue values. Hue stands for color. Okay, guys, hue is color, basically. So this is your color range, and this is your selection. You can adjust everything here in order to make a more precise mask, okay? And this is the size of it, okay? So for example, let's say we want to select just the orange. You can just tweak towards orange side of it, see? And yeah, that's already a little bit better. So in the saturation, you can remove a few saturated areas that you want, that you don't want actually, and then you tweak by this. Of course, you also have this softness right here, see? And yeah. And also you have the luminance, which is the amount of luminance out of your key, okay? So this is super useful to finesse your mask. But okay, with the qualifier fully explained, what are the real life usage for this tool? For me, the real life usage for them is 1, highlight recovery. One of the most important things that you can do with the qualifiers, in my opinion, okay? 2, fix skin tones. Everyone that got into DaVinci immediately tried that. Okay, I got it. But you need to be careful with that. And I'll show you a few tricks in order to make the skin tones perfect with the qualifier tool in a bit, okay? And the third one, if you want to select a product in a commercial or highlight a specific color and change that color or whatever, these are the 3 most important uses, in my opinion, for the qualifier, okay? So let's talk about the first one, which is the highlight recovery. Oh, I did all the qualifier in this node right here. My bad, guys. So these are just a few things that I did. I highly recommend to do your qualifications, your qualifier, after this. So it is my bad. It was just an accident. I didn't saw it. It was the first node that was selected. So I highly recommend you to do this in parallel, for example, if we're doing for highlight recovery that we're going to talk about now. So for example, how can we do a fill highlight recovery in this image? Well, if you click in the node and then you go to qualifier tab, you'll see that we have the luminance right here. So what we're going to do is select a range of luminance to do our changes, okay? You can just uncheck this and use this, or you can just go to this one right here, which is just the luminance, okay? It's up to you. Okay, so how can we do that? So let's say this is too bright, you want to make this a little bit soft. Sometimes you want to make a window less bright, you know, so because after your first adjustments, the window is super pop, and then you want to adjust that. Okay, how can we do that? So we are going to go and select the highlight mode, click this guy right here, or press Shift H, and then we're going to tweak these options right here, these knobs. So let's see. You see, so I selected the brightest part of the ball in this image. So, but I don't want these included. So that's when you're going to combine the qualifiers with some masking, okay, with some power windows. So yeah, okay. To track that, you can press Command T or go to your tracking and go track forward and reverse. Okay, we do have this selection. You can increase a little bit of softness in order to not have a super abrupt and like sort of sharp selection. This will make your mask more subtle. But okay, let's jump out of the highlight mode, and then we're going to go to our primaries, and we're going to tweak maybe just the luminance value of our gain, or maybe everything. So let's see, how can we do that? Okay. This was just an example. You can do this with a window or whatever you want to recover. So if you do it before and after, we recover a little bit of details in this object just by doing that. And as you see, this softness helps us to make this more subtle, okay? So this is the highlight recovery. You can do, again, you can do this on windows, on everything that is super blow. This was just an example. Okay, so the second method that you can use your qualifiers is to fix your skin tones or put them in the place that you want, okay? So in order to do that, what I recommend is, of course, I'll not even do the color management here. I'll just do a few changes for us. As soon as you have a good starting point, you can do your qualifiers, okay? Don't do them like in the first nodes, because otherwise you're gonna do that on top of a flat signal, okay? And you don't want to do that. You want to have as much information as you want in terms of color to pick the colors that you want, okay? So for example, a lot of people do these qualifiers for example, to an orange look, because it's as simple as that. So in order to do that, you're going to create a layer node, okay? Here's our layer mixer. And then, as you guys know, this is our priority. So everything we do here is not going to be touched here. So what we're going to do is select our skin in here with the qualifiers and set the skin to the way we want. And then we are going to apply our changes here, and everything that we did here, it's not going to be affected by these changes. So basically, you set the orange of the teal and orange look, which is the face here, like this. You select the face, again, highlight mode, same thing, guys, and then you finesse. You can adjust a little bit just by moving through. And then, oh, of course, we have these type of finesse methods that you can use in order to finesse your mask, finesse your selection. And the ones that I most use is like pre-filter, just to remove a little bit of the out of the selection. But the ones that I most use is like clean black, okay, which is the finesse method to remove things that are not in your selection, and the clean white, which is the finesse method to remove things that are in your selection. So basically, let's remove a little bit of blacks here. And as you see, as I told you guys earlier, this is harsh, so maybe let's increase a little bit of softness. You can use this, guys. Again, remember, this is the auto softness tool. And then I always like to denoise a little bit sometimes. Okay. And then let's try to finesse those black parts. Maybe something like this. Okay. We are also selecting this because in here we balance the image and we increase a little bit of oranges right here. Okay. So you can go back and remove the oranges of your shadows sometimes using your log wheels, or sometimes as well you can do some curves. So let's do a curve right here really quick. I don't want to spend too much time doing this selection. So okay, let's say something like this. Let's finesse our saturation as well, and then a little bit more of clean black, maybe. Yeah, something like that. And then blur radius to make your edges a little bit more blurry. Okay. Let's say, okay, we select the face. So everything that we do here, it's not going to be affecting the face. So people just go right here, go to your vector scope, let's adjust the skin tone. It's already some sort of okay, but I want to make it pop a little bit more. Okay, something like that, right? And then we go to the second priority and we put the teal of the teal and orange look. Something like that. Then maybe less saturation here. It's too much. One thing that you can always do as well, if your mask is too abrupt and you didn't pull the key like super perfectly, you can go to your key tab right here and take a little bit of the key that you did. So in here, it's sort of this is sort of the global blend out of your qualifier here. Okay, so I'll make it like this, and then this is the before and after. You see, we preserve the skin and we put the teal look in the background using layer nodes. Okay, let me know if you guys want me to talk a little bit more about layer nodes. All right, so this is one more usage, right? Fixing skin tones and then creating a specific look with separation of the skin tones of the background. And then the third method is just a simple type of selection of an object for a commercial or something like that. So let's go back to that clip we were doing. So let's say you want to make this orange color pop a little bit more. I'm already seeing that the mask is not going to be perfect because we also have a little bit of orange right here. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a mask first. Okay, it's the mask, general, power window mask. I did a video only about power windows, guys, before this, because this is part 2. We can also check the part 1 first, okay? And then we'll go to tracking and track forward and reverse. And now that we select the area that we want to do the qualifier, we want to do the qualifier. Because that way, because of the mask, I did the selection, now highlight mode. Now, because we did this mask, we are controlling even more the spread of our selection. You see, it starts spreading all over the place. So now you can just finesse your mask in order to select this orange, okay? Let's try to do that. Okay, something like that. and then something like that with a little bit more softness. Oops. Okay, and then let's try to put this back. Maybe make our mask a little bit smaller. Okay, go back, and then clean black. You see, removing things that are not in our selection, and then blur radius, and just a little bit of denoise, and yeah, you should be fine with that. So let's get out of the highlight mode, and then everything that we did, it's only going to be affecting this orange right here. So by moving our offset in this node to the edge of our graphic right here, we're going to be increasing saturation, right? Because with more the color is closer to the edge, that means more saturation. That's why the orange here in our vector scope, it's moving towards the edge. If something's closer to the edge, that means that that color is more saturated, okay? So before and after. As you select this and with the mask, you can do whatever you want. Yeah, not just increase saturation or push the things. You can change the hue. You see, you can change the hue in a different way. Go to your curves, you know, hue versus hue versus saturation. Yeah, change colors, increase saturation. It's really up to what you want with the selection, okay? So if you're already enjoying, please drop a like and subscribe to the channel. Moving on now, we are going to talk about a little bit of magic mask, okay? So in here, we only have our IDT, moving this to DaVinci Wide Gamut, and then moving the DaVinci Wide Gamut to Rec 709, okay? Not even doing noise reduction. So basically, guys, Magic Mask is an amazing AI tool, okay? That's why it's so amazing. It's an AI tool that's going to help you out with a specific type of masking. If you want a super precise masking, you can do it with Magic Mask, okay? If you watch my video when I was doing a breakdown of the music video, Stop Giving Me Advice, that I did for Lyrical Lemonade with Jack Harlow and Dave, I talked a lot about the Magic Mask, but I just want to make sure to have a few things that I also said that in here as well for this sort of masking masterclass, okay? So Magic Mask, it's right here. You can click the Magic Mask tab, and it's literally what it says. It's a magic mask. I just want to point to you guys a few things that you should know before you use, okay? It's really simple. It's not going to take much time, okay? So first thing, always use them better, okay? Try not to use them faster, okay? Because it can break it. But the better is amazing, okay? This is the tool that you're going to use to do your strokes, right? So let's select the scar, something like that. Again, same thing, highlight mode. You can have the highlight mode in order to show the selection. See how perfect it is? Crazy. And you can also have this right here to show your selection. So Vinny, what's the difference? Well, let's say this is my mask and I want to move to the next frame and do everything by hand and not put on tracking. So let's move to another frame. Where's the car? I don't know. So yeah, that's why. So you're going to use this when you're doing frame by frame and you want to actually see everything that you have on your disposal for your selection, okay? So you can do this frame by frame if you want, or you can just press here to track and it's going to try best as it can to do the tracking for you, okay? Of course, sometimes you'll need to adjust, but overall, this is a pretty good tracking method, okay? So as you saw here, we're gonna get out of this. We already have a pretty good selection out of our car. So if you wanna make black and white, you can do it. It's already done. You see, done. Nothing to worry about. Everything is done. So car in the shadow is black and white. But there's a few things you guys need to learn, of course, which is the finesse type of things that you have in here on your disposal. Same thing as the qualifiers. These are going to be the tools that you're going to use to help you finesse your selection. Again, same thing for clean black and clean white, use a lot, denoise as well. And yeah, usually those are enough to give you a better selection. But okay, so one more thing that I feel like super important for you guys to know, that I also said that in the music video color breakdown, okay? And is that always start by the worst frame. How come? For example, let's say this car is moving and there is a huge tree here. So let's say the car is right here, and then whatever. So the car is right here, and the tree is covering the front of the car. Okay. So you want to start if you want to track, of course, if you want to track and not do frame by frame by your hand, you want to start by this frame. This is the best frame. Okay. This present situation is not going to be your best frame, because by doing your first frame in here with the tree covering the front of your car, the AI already going to understand that, oh, okay, but you're probably going to do like select the car with a stroke and then go to drop thing right here and unselect the tree. Oh, and by the way, if you click the plus sign and you hold Option key, you're going to turn into the minus selection. And same thing, if you're holding the minus selection and you hold Option, it's going to turn into the plus selection, okay? So yeah, my recommendation, if you're willing to track, always start by the worst frame. If the tree is covering the car, unselect the tree with the minus stroke, and then select the car with the plus one, and then track it. It's probably going to be better, and it's going to save you a lot of time. But in this case, we didn't need that. And if you want to see a little bit more about this type of problem, I talked about that in the color breakdown. Yeah, guys, that was it. This video was hard to shoot. This is the 10th time I'm doing because I was not happy with the other two. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoy it. Please make sure to drop a like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye, guys.